Hello, everybody. This is Marshall Lee of Donkey Job Projects, and we are testing this live stream out. Yeah, dog. I am going to be working on some thumbnails. My internet connection is probably the worst ever anybody's had. Maybe not, I don't know, but I don't know how long this is going to actually work. It seems to be working at the moment. So I'm counting my blessings and hoping it works. And right now I'm opening up the video on my phone to see like the chat and stuff, because I'm already doing more than enough on this computer. I don't want it to poop out on me. So let's see if we can get there. How's everybody doing, by the way? I am doing all right. I didn't sleep very well last night, so I kind of got up early, but you know, it's how things go. That is how things go. Can I hear anything? I'm also using a different microphone than I usually use. Seems like it's working fine. I'm going to be drawing some stuff here now. Thumbs up my own video. Let's see if I can get that live chat going. Where's that live chat? Private? Oh, this shouldn't be a private video. That's not what I'm trying to say. Let's see if I can edit it as we go. Is it possible? Oh, I think I can. Publish. That's interesting. That it looks like I can change that as I go. Is that true? I just don't know where that. Here we go. All right. So let's see if the live chat pops up now. The chat is there now. I think people can see me. Hopefully that's true. All right, cool. Let me start doing some drawing, right? All right, let's see. Seems to be coming in clear and working, and that's pretty cool. I'm glad to be having this mic work too, because I've had this mic for a while, but I've only used it a few times because every time I try to use it, I have multiple possibilities for microphones, because I was using the laptop and it has its own microphone built in, but this computer does not have its own microphone built in. So every time I use the laptop, I wasn't sure if I was using the laptop microphone or this microphone. Here, I know for sure I'm using this, and this should be a clearer, better, nicer sound. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm on like a desktop now, like a Windows machine, HP. And I got to call my internet service and see if they can troubleshoot why I have such slow internet. So yeah, let's see if I can draw and talk here at the same time. Looks like there's a little lag, which is not cool, but I think it's probably because I'm live streaming. And I'm working at 600 DPI. Maybe I should change the resolution. See if that helps. You can hear my computer is making that crazy fan noise. It's working hard, hardly working. Let's see if I can change this DPI. PPI. I never tried to see if I could do it this way. Looks like I can't. Or maybe document sizes. I'm just going to go to the one I know. Image size. this down to 300. I gotta map the shortcuts on my computer or my tablet. That's one thing I haven't really done. All right. If you have any thoughts, questions, anything, let me know. I will chat back. Chat to me, and I'll chat you back. I wonder if there's a way I could easily make like a grid. I know there's a way. There's always a way, but I'm still kind of a noob when it comes to Photoshop. All right. Let's see. Do 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 do. I should be using the shortcuts here, but since I'm doing the live chat, I feel like I'm not thinking my smartest because I'm also trying to pay attention to other things. All right, this doesn't need to be in my way. So, if you don't know, I've recently released a new comic for free for anybody to read. It's called Attack of the Lizard Brain. You can check it out at donkeyjawprojects.com/Attack of the Lizard Brain. And there's also a pre-order going on right now for the cover I made for it. It's a throwback cover to Tales from the Crypt 35. You know, it's like a homage to that, but I did like my own version. My last video showed me inking it, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, the pre-orders are up right now. If you go to that same link, the link is down in the description, and you know, you read it, scroll to the bottom, and there's a link to pre-order it. That's only available till Friday, and then you know the price is going to go up. There's not going to be free shipping. Right now, there's free shipping on it, so go check it out if you'd like to. I think the cover came out pretty awesome. Like I'm like so excited. I was able to really bring across the vision that I originally wanted to. So I'm happy about that. You know, it's the best I can do at this point, and I think it came out pretty cool. So, all right, what am I doing now? Oh yeah, I want to use the shortcuts. That's why I kind of moved a few things on my desk here. I should pick the color I want and not just something willy-nilly, right? All right. So I've already done some preliminary kind of sketchings, I guess. In my sketchbook for what I'm trying to do here. And what I'm trying to do is I got a commission. I don't know if I should even be sharing this, but I don't know. I think it's okay. I'll ask him today. It's a guy I work with. He wants me to do a drawing of Moby Dick, which I'm not super familiar with, but Phone Bone is, and Phone Bone's pretty cool. So I think that If he's into it, then I could be into it. So um, let's see. Let's make this brush a little bigger. I'm not going to be using all the super awesome tricks for Photoshop because I'm paying attention to too many things, I guess. I should probably have my sketchbook out so I could reference what it was that the idea I had a little bit more accurately. Do 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 do. Um, hmm. Zoom in. So, it's pretty cool. Um, I did do some research on this since I was doing this commission and what, again, I knew Moby Dick had to do with like a whale or whatever. That was about my extent of knowledge. And when I told the guy, I was like, to be honest, I'm not really super familiar with Moby Dick. He's like, it's a white whale, dude. Draw me a white whale. I was like, okay. But I could never, I could of course never make it that easy on myself, right? So went ahead, did some research. I think it's available. An audiobook is free, available on YouTube. I haven't quite done that because I think it's a long book. Um, and I could, but I don't know. Do I want to go that far in, that deep in? Yeah, I kind of do actually, because to be honest, I looked up like some documentaries and stuff and just synopsis of the story, and I'm like, this story is kind of super awesome. I'm not a huge fan of like, I don't know, fishing. I'm not a huge fan of like, I don't know, the ocean, I guess, or I don't know. I guess I am, but like I like nature. Nature's rad. Hopefully that fan's not too annoying. Um but so but Jaws is awesome, you know. And I think that, Moby Dick, like Jaws is like, I think it's got a similar vibe. I'm not saying, Jaws necessarily holds up to the, one of the greatest American novels ever known, but you know, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I'm not gonna sit here and judge that, but um it's freaking awesome. And I don't know. I dig it. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I could dig it, you could dig it, she could dig it. All right, so let's see. All right, what was the shortcut? I think this was the shortcut. Yeah, to make this side. All right, cool. I know there's like a special nifty way to do sizes with like you hold the button and you like. I should check that out. But I keep forgetting all the different things. Anyways, So these are just supposed to be thumbnails. I want to get this done. It'd be awesome if I got this done today. Just some, solid thumbnails. And then I could show the guy and give him some quotes. I don't know what. I think I'm going to do it traditionally. I'm going to ask him if he's okay with me doing it digitally. But if I do, then I'm going to have to print it off for him, I think. I don't know. Have any of you guys ever done a commission like that? Like he wants to put it on his wall. That's the point of this whole thing, at home. So I don't know. Does anybody usually do commissions traditionally or digitally, and then kind of go in and make a print of it and give it to the customer? Is that a thing that people do? I don't know. I'm also not interested. I'm not okay with whaling. I don't think. I think that they did some pretty messed up things. We still do pretty messed up things to endanger whales. Sounds a little weird for me to say that out loud, but because kind of grew up more in a conservative realm, not like my parents were and I became that or nothing. That's what made sense to me. Um and I think I do somewhat lean conservative still, but I was very much on that I don't know, just the stupidness of party politics, and now I'm not. Now I'm so much more open to all kinds of things. Um because to me I think that the differences are possibly manufactured, but even if they're not, I think the differences are stupid. I think being part of one side or the other is just, it's not my thing. So anyways, I don't like cruelty, to animals anyways. My wife and I have kind of been on this path of trying to be vegan, but we're not doing the greatest. But we do, I mean, we eat vegan most of the time, and it's not really even for the animals. That's not the reason we decided to want to do that. But that doesn't mean we don't like the animals and want to be nice to them. And we've gotten more into that, that side of things, because we do think animals are awesome. And I think that we should take care of what we should take responsibility, for the things we consume and all that. So, um, I don't think I'm really cool with whaling or other things that my wife just showed me there was a thing where she saw this report of they found this whale recently, or I don't know if it was recently, I don't know how long ago, but they found I forgot what it was 60 pounds of plastic bags in their stomach, and they died. It's just damn, like there's no need for that. So I don't know. Like it's not the whale's fault, that's for sure. Um, things happen. It sucks. I'm not gonna like, you know, go boycott stuff and picket stuff necessarily. I mean, I am gonna try to eat vegan as much as I can and organic. Um, but you know, for my own thing. But I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the way animals are treated so that we can have food. I don't know why I'm on this. I'm just trying to draw some pictures. I'm not like an activist. It's just necessarily. I'm just try to make decisions that make sense to me for myself and my family. So, anyways, so this I think is the basic template. Like, it doesn't look pretty, but I guess I could zoom in a little bit more. Oops, and do a little bit more cutting. Um, just to excuse me. Just woke up, so I got some things going on. My voice is a little froggy and whatnot. A little bit of drama here. But the thing about you know, the whole politics thing, whatever, like the whales and whatnot, and it's like, oh well, should I be supporting this by drawing this Moby Dick scene? But as I got to know the story, I'm like, well, spoiler alert, guys, but Moby Dick wins, and Moby Dick's the whale, so at least as far as I understand, as far as my understanding goes. So that's kind of cool. I kind of hate to draw them like with this dramatization of, you know, it's gonna have like scars and you know, what do you call these things? Harpoons sticking out of them and stuff. Probably. I really should get my sketches so I can reference some of the stuff. Be right back. It'll take me 1 sec. All right, I'm back already. I also should have got some coffee for myself before I started this, shouldn't I? Especially with the froggy throat. All right, let's see. So, how's everybody doing today? I don't know if I have any viewers yet, but I've never done this thumbnail thing digitally yet. I already did some kind of thumbnail stuff. But the thing is as I was doing the thumbnails in my sketchbook, I was thinking, this is great and all that, but wouldn't it be nice if I could be like, wouldn't it be great? If I could take like this right here that I have made just right now and kind of just duplicate it and then put the whale in different positions. By the way, what do you guys think of this? Now I'm going to put like, this is going to be the main part here is like this body of water and you just see, these guys in trouble here. This might change, um, up top, but, might look a little different. But, I mean, it's going to look a lot different because they're not going to be little stick figures. They're going to be like rendered and whatnot. And I think I'm going to end up doing it traditionally, but in pen and ink, which is um, kind of, I don't know. It's a little bit uh, going to be a challenge, I guess. I mean, I do actually work in pen and ink, more often than not. But you know, it still feels intimidating to like really do a finished piece that will be on someone's wall. Usually, the pen and ink stuff that I do is like, it's going to be gone over digitally with um colors and stuff. Like it's going to be colored digitally, and like I'm going to clean it up digitally. In this case, it's like, um I'm not, so all right. So can I use control? Is control C the same thing as command C? I want to copy. Let's see. Edit. um I'm so used to doing command C, command V. Do it. Yeah, control C, and then paste is control V. Okay, cool. So control C, control V. Uh-oh. That didn't do what I was trying to do. I'll get it. Control C. Oh, I'm copying the artboard apparently. I don't know about this artboard stuff. What's this artboard stuff? I don't want artboards. I just want to layer layers. I don't know. All right. Well, I'm just gonna ignore the artboard because I don't know much about that. I think 4 is enough. Let's see if I can use the move tool. I don't know. Move tool is probably M, right? V. Huh. Who would have thunk it? All right. How many can I fit? 4 or 5? Ooh, I think I could fit 5. Sweet. Control V, baby. Let's do this. Sweet. And then I think I could do it like this. Can I select them all and do like a little? Oh, see, I think in Illustrator I can kind of make them all centered and everything like on the page. But I'm not seeing that here. I guess I could just do it by hand, right? Got that move tool again. It was V, right? All right. So I'm gonna put that there. I bet you can do it, and I just am not sure how. Like, there's a function. I mean, it's already showing the guide, so I can kind of do it, but there's like functions where you can get it like perfectly centered and perfectly spaced out pretty easily in Illustrator. Maybe I should be doing this in Illustrator. I don't know. That's good enough, though, right? Really. All right. All right, let's draw some whales. Let's go to the first one. Would it be nice if I don't know why. It's got some. What is that? The surfer guys. Beach Boys. Wouldn't it be nice if we could? Thinking of like 50 First Dates. All right, let's see. Um, wouldn't it be nice if we could make up? I don't remember the words, but that's what I'm thinking. All right. So I'm gonna start with. I guess I'll just start with the basic. You guys ever see that movie, 50 First Dates? I've seen it a million times. I dig it. I could dig it. She could dig it. He could dig it. See if I could do some fill action. No. I know there's like there's ways to do it. That's not the way. Brush. Options. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, there's always better ways to do everything, and I'm a noob when it comes to this stuff. So I was thinking maybe of playing with some ink washes, but man, I don't. I'm afraid to because I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to ink washes. Like I tried to do like something that a tutorial showed once, and get the inks and kind of dilute them differently. But maybe I was just too impatient about it. I should probably maybe I could do some quick little tests before I do it and try it again. But like I was trying to do it and make like 3 or 4 pans or whatever of ink wash and of different gradients, and they all just kind of look the same to me, you know. So I'm like, I don't know, dude. And I stopped trying pretty quickly, so I probably need to just try harder. Know what I mean? A little bit hungry. Hopefully, I can get working on this in a way where I can have some time before work to get some food in me. All right. So there's a whale. I want to make sure I don't go too crazy. Something I've been thinking about lately as I've been doing some different concept sketches on different things is I grew up one of my favorite artists growing up was Willis Portasio. In fact, I used to always say like he was my favorite artist. So much so that I named one of my cats Wills. And now my tastes have changed a lot since then, and it doesn't mean I don't like Wills. I think Wills Portasio is still an awesome artist, but I don't think I'm as enamored by his stuff as I was um, when I grew up. So, anyways, but his stuff, he's a great artist. He's cool. Um, but you know, I was thinking though, lately, like the last I did this drawing called of a character, a Marvel character called Goblin, and and I kind of did a little bit of the Wills Portasio rendering. Like he does this thing. Maybe I could kind of demonstrate it here a little bit. Um, let's see what would be the best way to do it. All right, I'll just do a sphere, and I can't necessarily do it justice. I haven't even practiced it, that style very much. But I was playing around with like the way I would approach it, I guess. Let's get that rotate going, and he kind of would do this thing where, like in a sphere, the like with muscles and stuff, and it usually would be from the bottom up or whatever. But he'd have like this awesome gradation from like the middle up, and then he'd have like this reflective light. I didn't even know what reflective light was when I was a kid, but he'd have like this reflective light coming up. So there was like this cool like gradation where it went from light, not so light, but light a little bit, to dark, and then back to light again with more light on top. I always thought that was really cool. So you have these like awesome lines where it's just like, and I know I'm not gonna be able to do it justice. And he probably got it from like, I don't know, Bernie Wrightson or something, or something like that. Hopefully you guys get my drift there, but this is like a very crude version of it. Um I'm new to digital too, so I'm still kind of learning how to do things in a way that looks cool. Although I think I did a pretty cool job with that little goblin piece I did. And it really inspired me to work more, play around with digital some more, which is cool. All right. Yeah, I'm getting hungry, man. I'm getting hungry. Hungry, hungry hippo. All right. Fin probably wouldn't be quite that big, but whatever. And they got like these little teeth. But they look ferocious to a certain degree. And I don't know if they actually have those teeth on top too, which is kind of crazy. So this one is cool. It shows the scale, like the monstrous mythical scale. The thing is I think, in most of the illustrations I've seen of Moby Dick, oh yeah, so I want to use that kind of rendering. Isn't clear on this piece, and maybe play around a little more with it, kind of do my own version of it, because I remember really liking it. Um, but you know, in a lot of these renderings of like Moby Dick, I mean, when it comes down to it, Moby Dick is, it's a monster movie. It's a monster tale book, but it's based in it's like that time period. I think it was the 18 late 1800s. Um, it's like that time periods. Like they had stuff like that. The whaling community was a big community, and they had stuff like Moby Dick, like stories like that, legends and stuff like that. I think, and but none of them, became what Moby Dick became. And I think even Moby Dick was not like originally like taken right away like to be something awesome. Not everybody accepted it or whatever as like an amazing novel or anything. Um, so but Herman, is his name Herman Melville, I think. Um, he brought a level of realism that wasn't, really brought beforehand. Um, and I think that's kind of what set it apart. So yeah. Um, let's do another whale. So that's kind of a cool thing. So he did kind of what, comic creators were doing in the 80s. So maybe it's like it comes around every, 100 years, because it was more like the 19 or the 1880s, and somewhere around the 1980s we were getting into realism with our media as well. So there's that, but it was also very mythical. Like it actually is from a true story. That's what makes it kind of realistic. And I think he brought a lot of realism elements um, and stuff. But um, you know, that was something that helped. Why? Oh, I'm not on the right layer. Interesting. So with each copy, it made a new layer. I didn't know that. All right. Um, oh, my computer's slowing down a little bit. So yeah, he brought some realism to it, which is interesting, but it still has got like this myth quality where it's like, it is a fictional story. It's a fictional adaptation of a real story. And so like a lot of the illustrations you see, show the whale like way bigger even than you know than any whale has ever been in relation to the ship and stuff. Like whales are big, but they're not that big. um so I don't know, and it's cool, it's interesting. it's interesting to see that like kind of small level of stretch compared to uh like um compared to the type of exaggeration we see more often, I guess. That's way over the top, which, trust me, I don't have any problem with. I'm a product of the 90s, 90s comic books and stuff like that. So I like me some exaggeration for sure. Um, but there's also like a small amount of a small amount of exaggeration can go a long way. I don't really know if I have a point here. I'm just like talking about stuff and things. Um, but I like that level of exaggeration. It's interesting. In the comic I'm working on right now, its tentative title is Armor Girl, which that's not what it's going to be titled, but it's just something, a placeholder, um, that helps me talk about it. And it's, I mean, it's like the peak of exaggeration to a certain degree. Um, hey, what's up, James? How you doing, man? Um, so I mean, it's basically this adaptate like I don't know, adaptation's the right word, but like it's kind of my take on like the old rubber hose style animation or cartoons. And but I'm actually introducing some realism to it, so that's like the opposite. This is like mostly Moby Dick is like mostly a real story, but it's mythologized enough to where it's like it's almost like a monster movie. It's like Jaws. It's kind of like that, and it reflects life because people exaggerate. I'm sure the tales, you know these whalers were coming back with were probably, oops, just as exaggerated, almost as exaggerated as you know the book itself. And again, I have not actually read the book, so I don't. I'm only speaking from what I have heard about it in my kind of research. So, but like what I'm doing with Armor Girl is like a totally different thing. It's like coming from high exaggeration, like it's nothing but exaggeration. Um, and um, but I'm introducing some realism into it. Not a lot, but you know, it's kind of a story about war, but it's like it's for kids, which is weird. Like it's kind of aimed for like young ladies, I guess. But really young kids, anybody could read it and it's going to be enjoyable. Trust me, it's going to be like awesome. Um but I guess wisdom says to kind of um have a target audience. So, I don't know. I guess it's kind of for young girls, like maybe, some similar crowd to like Raina Talgameyer's like fans, possibly. I don't know. But it's not really because it's a high kind of fantasy sci-fi type of concept. So it's like her fan any of her fans who are into that too. um which I assume that probably a bunch of them are actually. But I'm sure many of them aren't at all. They just like that slice of life stuff or whatever. um Gotta read the book. You'll never be the same afterwards. Moby Dick, yeah. I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, man. I From the research I've done, I do want to read the book. I mean, I'll probably listen to audio version. I don't got time to read books. I've been reading Bone actually, which is funny because Phone Bone is enamored with Moby Dick. Um, so that's kind of a big volume, and that's even hard. But I'm getting through it because it's a comic and it takes a lot less time to read than a novel. Even though it's about the same page count as like a huge novel, I'm like almost getting close to halfway through it. Um, so, anyways, I'm. Oh yeah, well, I got a few things. I'm inserting like the realism of war kind of into, but not like gritty. Trust me, it's still for kids, but into my story, the Armor Girl story. But so but as far as Moby Dick goes, like, yeah, like it actually was making me like the story of it is like, you know what, like it'd be cool to do like my version of Moby Dick, um, kind of, but like, I would make the setting be, like instead of the ocean, it would be space, and it'd be like, and I'm sure like I mean, Moby Dick has been an inspiration to so many people. I'm sure something like this has already been done. But that was where my brain went with it. Um, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I do want to check it out. To me, as I study it and come to know more about it, it makes me think of Jaws. It's got that kind of thing, and I like, kind of this idea of like being stranded, or like, I don't know. It's interesting. It's a interesting drama to play with. I think that would be fun to play with. Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm also taking a little bit from the actual story that Moby Dick is derived from, which there's a lot that happened after the whale incident. They were actually stranded on an island, and then they got on their raft, and some of them stayed on the island, some of them got on a raft and or their boat or whatever, and tried to get through the seas and stuff, and some of them actually survived and some of them didn't. And then there's like this whole thing with cannibalism, because they were out there for so long, and then when one person would die, they had this decision of whether they were going to eat the person or not. And it was crazy. All that like is interesting too to me, to mine for a story. So yeah, Corey Kerr is live. I think that's from like last night or something. Anyways, that's cool if he's live too at the same time. I don't think he's up at the same times as I am, though. Nobody is. Except for you, James. You're always up at this time, it seems. All right. So that's, I guess, that one. I like, right now, I'm liking I'm not really liking this one so much. This was like the first try. But he almost looks dead already. And he's not even supposed to die. This one, he doesn't look like threatening. He just looks like he's there. But the scale looks cool. So that part of the threat looks kind of cool. But I want one where it's like, it looks like he's attacking. Like these guys are about to get it. So let's see if we can make that happen. Getting the kids ready for school, same time zone. All right, cool. Yeah, East Coast time zone, man. I'm getting me ready for work. This is how I do it, I guess. Speaking of that, I should see. Yeah, actually, it's almost time for me to go. So I don't think I am going to finish this, but let's see if we can knock another whale out before I have to go. Let's see. I mean, I don't have to do it this way exactly, but I'm having a whale of a time here. You know what? No. Let's see. It's weird because I was almost like, in some ways, like, didn't, when he said, Moby Dick, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, whales, their body shapes are like so simple. Like, how am I going to make this look cool? They really only bend a few different ways. Like, it's not like, how am I going to make like a dynamic pose? But looking up some other people's illustrations, I kind of came up with this idea before I looked at any illustrations, but um, looking up other people's illustrations, I was like, well, people made some pretty cool stuff with this. So there's a lot of different ways to approach it. Um, so I don't know, but it is still like, I don't know. How am I going to make this work in a way that looks super awesome, cool? Sperm whales can have very expressive eyes, really. Well, maybe I'll look up sperm whale eyes before I finish the rest of these thumbnails. And there's other approaches. This is just one like layout idea. Maybe this isn't the layout I'm going to go with. One thing is I'm spending way more time than I probably should on this, but I don't often do commissions, so this is like it's weird when people ask you to do a commission, it's like, they see you drawing like superheroes and this and that, and then they ask you to, draw a picture of, you know, somebody getting married or something, or like Moby Dick, for example. Moby Dick's somewhat still in there because it's basically a monster story, but still, I don't know. It's just like, oh man, why couldn't you ask me to draw like Captain America at least or something? And I could do like my badass version of Captain America or something, or some weird version of it. But it'd be fun. This is still fun. Like, I'm glad that I was asked to do this because it's making me learn about a really cool story. So that's awesome. And it gave me ideas for my own other story. So that's awesome as well. But yeah, it's taken me probably longer than I should let it. But yeah, it is what it is. It's going to take me however long it's going to take. I want to make sure it's good. And, once I get the thumbnails done and figure out the price, that to me it's worth. I don't think I think in the end, because I'm going to spend way more time than I probably most people would. I'm probably going to be working for peanuts technically on an hourly, you know, rate if I like break it down, but because I've already spent hours on it, so um, but I think that once I get the money, like what, like the estimates to them, and get the thumbnails, then we'll see. You know, um, I don't know what his budget is, and so maybe he doesn't have enough money. Which is fine, and then I won't even have to do it. But it's making me want to do it anyways, just because now I'm like getting into the idea of it. Yeah, we'll see. Then I'll be like, well, I still went ahead with it, but you want to print because you know, after the fact, I don't know, what do you do with something like that? It's like you didn't want to pay the original amount, so I'm not gonna lower the price necessarily. I don't know. That's probably tricky, tricky path to kind of go. Do do do. So I am gonna be finishing up here in a minute. Yeah, I gotta get going. So I appreciate everybody checking this stuff out. Again, just a reminder. The pre-orders are open for Attack of the Lizard Brain print, the cover, which I had a ton of fun messing with. And yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited about getting that thing printed up. And I don't know. I think it's really cool. And you can read the comic for free. At the very least, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I mean, that's really what's most important on what I made. And this eye should be more mean, more angry, I should say, not mean. Um, so, yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And yeah, and if you're interested, the pre-order's open. It's only open till Friday, so um, you know it's at a cheaper price and free shipping, so it's worth it to get in on it early. And yeah, I guess that's about it, guys. I really appreciate you guys checking this stuff out. Thanks, James, for hanging out with me. Someone that found your art chose you to do the commission because they like what you do, so don't worry too much about it. You'll do fine, just being true. That's true, man. Thanks for the encouragement. Was this a friend or someone you found that found your art? It's a coworker, and I showed him the lizard brain stuff actually. And he's like, "Oh, that's cool, man." Like, even though he's not like into that kind of stuff, he's like, "Dude, like when you're done with that, let me know because I want one." And I'm like, surprised. It's like if you're not into that kind of thing, um, but maybe then he was like, you know what, like he wanted me to do a commission, so that's probably more what he wants. But it's really cool. Like it is awesome that he recognized it, and it's weird telling people at work like. I sometimes shy away from that, but yeah, it ends up working out. People like my stuff, and so I try to still do that. I try to um, show people my stuff more often. I'm trying to get used to that. So, anyways, I appreciate that, man. Um, and yeah, so I'm gonna finish it here. This is what I did, during the stream. I'm not really sure that I'm happy with any of them, but it's getting there. That's why we do the thumbnails. So yeah, thanks for checking out my stuff, peeps, and I will talk to you next time. All right, signing out. Later, guys.